Coming up next on Storm Chasin, another slow winter in Minnesota. But just when it seemed like another dry stretch, it hits. A quick blast of snow at the worst possible time. Monday morning rush hour. At Viking Lakes, there's no margin for error. Training grounds, hotels, apartments, businesses, every inch matters. Crews scramble to stay ahead of the storm, pushing, salting, circling back again. Because when you're clearing snow as fast as it's falling, speed isn't a luxury, it's survival. And at Curbside, everyone moves, everyone matters. No excuses, just results. This is winter. This is the grind. This is Storm Chasin. In Minnesota, winter isn't just a season, it's a defining force. From November through March, snowfall shapes the rhythm of life. Here in the Twin Cities, the average season brings around 55 inches of snow, and temperatures that often stay well below freezing. But lately, that's been changing. For the past few years, Minnesota has seen below-average snowfalls. And when the storms do come, they're more unpredictable than ever, hitting fast, hitting hard, or sometimes not hitting at all. That uncertainty? It doesn't make things easier, it makes them more critical. That's where Curbside landscape and irrigation comes in. For over 2 decades, they've been on the front lines of winter in the Twin Cities. With more than 400 commercial properties under their care, Curbside doesn't wait for the storm. They track it, plan for it, and move before it hits. From pre-storm brine to post-storm snow relocation, every inch is accounted for. Their teams use advanced routing, real-time weather monitoring, and round-the-clock manpower to keep sites open, safe, and moving. And among those sites is one that stands apart. A place where precision isn't a bonus. It's a requirement, where mornings come fast and every detail matters. Viking Lakes, home to the Minnesota Vikings training facility, and so much more. Apartments, hotels, schools, medical buildings, retail. It's a city within a city. And when winter rolls in, Curbside makes sure it doesn't slow things down. Because in a place where timing is everything, Curbside pushes harder. This is winter work at its most precise and most relentless. For Curbside, this is just another day in the snow.
So we're out here in Eagan at the Vikings facility, just driving through their employee lot and the players lot. Plow and shovel everything here. Started taking care of this place in 2018 when they moved from Eden Prairie. We do the Vikings facility here, TCO, which is Twin Cities Orthopedics, Omni Hotel. There's kind of a private school that we take care of as well, and then there's also Viking Lakes Apartments. So we keep most of our equipment on site, so we don't trailer anything. Whatever equipment is on site is usually site specific. We do have some sites where equipment will park there and then it's basically routed out and we'll move around. So on this site in particular, we have 2 loaders. We have a fuel tank ready to go for them so they can fuel up. We have shoveling crews that come here. They report directly to site, meet with the manager, they put together a game plan, and then go through and just start doing their route. So yeah, all the shovels, additional fuel cans, safety vests, any additional equipment or anything like that that their crews might need is all kind of housed in here. In 2018, we started a brine department, and I've basically kind of helped bring brine onto most of our sites here, which this entire area is all liquid application. So brine, very little, if any, de-ice, granular de-ice gets put on this property. So for these sites out here that have liquid, we have these 3 5,000 gallon brine tanks, and then we also have a 3,000 gallon additive tank that we use headwaters hot. We usually have these trucked out. A good partner of ours at Twin Cities Erosion, he hauls all of our brine out, fills the tanks up. It's been pretty light this year, so we have a lot of guys in-house taking care of it. All of the brine gets made at our shop in Savage. We have about 45,000 gallons of capacity there. There's really not a hard part about this property. Mike Brohez, he runs this site for Curbside, and he's pretty much got her dialed in. There's quite a bit of square footage out here, but those guys, other than the apartments where it's always a pain in the to get it because you have all these cars here. So imagine if there's snow on the ground right about now, we, don't have very many spots to put it. So, but we usually do a clean out the next day. So we'd get the snow out of the main drive lanes, and then cars would move, and then we come in here, scrape everything, and get the snow to the pile locations.
It's been a slow winter in Minnesota, and with barely any snow this season, all the equipment sits staged and waiting. Loaders, skids, brine trucks, ready for action, just waiting on a reason to move. Before the storm arrives, the team heads back to the shop in Savage to check the latest updates from True Weather. Because in a season like this, timing is everything.
Yeah, just some of the long-range models and then some of the short-range, high-res models just kind of, they're constantly updating, so I'm just kind of watching. I mean, you can see the metro. I mean, we're essentially where that 1.2 is right there. Southern Hennepin County, Scott County, Southern Washington County. I mean, it's going to be really tight to get an inch, but 15 miles is going to be the difference in all of it. So you're just trying to kind of see where this band is, because moving west to east, there's really no south and north direction to it. So, I mean, 15 miles either direction is going to be difference between 2 and 4 and 0 and 1.
The team is right on the edge. A small shift in the band, north or south, could change everything.
All the high-res models are coming in and they're pretty consistent. You're talking within a half inch of each other, but placement is kind of what I'm trying to start watching here. And so this is just total snowfall. This is more of an act. What the Euro's depicting on precipitation at time. So this is 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and I mean, we're right on that edge. And kind of that 1 inch range metro-wide's looking pretty common. I mean, if you look at the 7-county metro area, I mean, we're from northern Hennepin County up here down to the south side of Washington County down here. So, I mean, where you'll be going out tonight is right on that Dakota-Washington border right there in Eagan. And again, it's printing off close to an inch, so hopefully.
So far, True Weather and the high-res models point to less than an inch for Viking Lakes. It's a close call, but not enough to start plowing.
We're not seeing the snow that we're supposed to be seeing. It's looking like everything is even moving more further north, and the ground temperatures are still pretty warm, air temperatures as well. So, yeah, I think we had an original start time of 3 a.m. Now we're looking at possibly 3 a.m. for stuff south of the 394, 494 border. And then north of 394, we're looking at maybe seeing 1.5 inches. So we'll have to just see what goes on from then, and might just be salting event.
But just when it looks like the storm may miss them,
National Weather with their 2:53 a.m. update bumped everything to 1 to 3 and 2 to 4. So it was looking like it was possibly gonna be a bust, and now we're gonna maybe have to pivot and get ready to start plowing again. It's 3:30 in the morning now, and it's gonna boil down to the next 2 hours and trying to make the decision on going from a trace to plowing again is a tough one. So you got to keep everyone on alert, and within the next hour here, got to kind of hit the button to either start plowing and or stick with our game plan right now.
The forecast changed yet again, and now every minute counts.
Monday morning, snow coming in the heaviest at 5, 6 a.m. kind of worst case scenario, because everyone's going to go, well, why didn't you do anything? As you guys have seen out there right now, there isn't a whole lot to do.
This is the moment snow crews dread, when the plan hangs on a forecast, and the flakes haven't even fallen yet. But the call is made. This one's a full plow event. Now it's go time. At Viking Lakes, most of the gear is already staged and ready to roll. But back at the shop in Savage, the rest of the team is gearing up. Brine trucks are filled. Sidewalk crews load up machines. Salt trucks get topped off for nearby sites. Every site is different, and every detail matters. Because once the flakes start falling, there's no room for delay. At Viking Lakes, that starts with liquid.
So this is our brine maker. We've been running brine and liquid on our sites for about 6 years. We've probably made about 2 million gallons of brine through this unit. We have about 9 brine tanks out back and 1 additive tank. It all comes through this manifold system here. We can fill up our trucks. It has an air purge on it, so it gets rid of all the liquid in the line. We have a bulk water tank here to help supplement the water.
At Viking Lakes, everything runs on liquid. No salt, just brine. It's cleaner, more efficient, and ready before the first flake hits. But not every site is liquid. Some still run treated salt, and that means the yard stays busy before every event.
So yeah, this is our salt yard. It's about a block from our offices and shop. Got our green treated. That's pretty much what we use all throughout the year. We do have some other treatments we can use, but I like using treated. We can use less salt even when it's warmer like it is, 28, 29 degrees right now. And then we've got the other half of our bin. It's all white salt, and we use that for the sole purpose of making brine. So we got all these totes over here, fill our brine maker with that.
Every site is different. At Viking Lakes, the crew reports straight to the property. But not every job runs that smooth. For smaller sites scattered across the metro, sidewalk crews head to the shop, loading up machines, checking gear, and rolling out. Because when the snow starts falling, there's no time to scramble. You go in ready, or you don't go in at all. Coming up after the break, the snow finally hits, and with Monday morning bearing down, the Viking Lakes crew has one shot to stay ahead of the storm. Crews are in position, the clock is ticking, and the push begins. Right after this. The Viking Lakes crew is already in, the snow is falling, and the pressure is rising. It's early Monday morning, and soon the site will be filling with traffic. Commuters, hotel guests, doctors, deliveries, so there's no time to waste. Loaders fire up, tool cats get into place, shovels hit the ground, the team locks in. Everyone knows their role. And the plan is clear. Keep it clean, keep it moving, and don't stop until it's done.
So we're in Eagan, Minnesota, at our trace site. It's the Minnesota Vikings training facility, a hotel, a couple other places around here. They're all traces. So they called for an inch, maybe 2 inches of snow, and then realistically when we got here, when we were planning on starting, there wasn't anything really. So now it kind of kicked up a little bit. We got like not even a half inch of snow. We pre-treated, so some of it's kept keeping up with it. But we're gonna scrape it and brine it. I mean, they're kind of talking a little more snow, like maybe 2 to 4, so we'll see. I'm just gonna try to full plow it while I can, while no cars are here, before the donkey show shows up. So yeah.
The crew is locked in, loaders carving lanes, shovels clearing walks. This is the first push. Get the initial layer off and keep it moving. Everything's clicking, everyone's dialed. Because once the site starts filling up, the margin for error disappears.
I mean, there's a good chance we'll probably have to scrape it again. So, I mean, just get what we can and know that's probably gonna get covered again.
Just have them go down them stairs and push all that out, and I'll come down the side over there and then have them work over to that corner.
Yeah.
For some reason, they always park right there, right in the middle of where I gotta plow first. I don't know why they do it, but they love to do it. I usually wouldn't push them like this, but that car kind of ruins the way I'd rather do it. I don't know if it's any faster or not, but I like to do it that way. This is the way I like to do them, right here. Like I said, I don't know if it's any faster, but that's the way I'm gonna do it. I do usually have a skid with me, but you really don't need them that much. This plow, you can do it all.
With the first pass underway, the rhythm starts to build. From one corner of the site to the next, machines push forward. Loaders cut clean paths. Skids move into tight spots. Shovels hit the pavement in sync. It's not just individual effort, it's a system. A crew dialed in, working the site like a machine. Everyone knows their role. No wasted motion, just progress.
Whoa! I can't see.
Skid just leaves so much snow to me. Ugh.
The sun rises over Viking Lakes, but the storm hasn't let up. The main crew keeps clearing what they can before cars flood the site. It's a race against the clock, and now it's time to brine.
You could probably do the drive lanes because that place is going to probably turn into a show in the next hour.
Cars are starting to roll in right now, so we'll get some of these drive lanes sprayed. Get the handicap stalls, sidewalks. Nice if that side boom can hit those sidewalks. I mean, this is the worst time that you can get snow, right between this 5 and 7 a.m. All the cars are coming in, so we didn't really have a chance to get everything plowed. So now we're just gonna get everything kind of touched up, walks done, and then quick salt on the drive lanes. Getting some really good melting on this. Doing about 60 gallons an acre right now. Place really starts to fill in with all the daycare kids, coffee.
While drive lanes get treated, the rest of the crew squeezes in one last pass. Detail work in tight corners, curb lines, sidewalks. Every inch counts before foot traffic, and parked cars freeze everything in place.
Hey, you want to go back over to like the hotel, or not the hotel, maybe to the residence and scrape all that stuff, because we're coming through and getting all the stalls, and if you're just doing drive lanes, we're going to end up having to do it again right after you. So, and I mean, we just got to scrape where we can, try to get as much of it up as we can right now. Cool.
Time to salt, time to salt. Putting down the good stuff, liquid brine. Fancy. Spraying salt water.
It's mid-morning, and the site is alive. Cars are moving, people are arriving, the crew is still out, doing what they can between the chaos. The main push is behind them, but the job's far from done.
So the night started off definitely pretty slow, and then we had that little bit of freezing sleet that kind of came through and glazed everything over. We weren't able to get a full complete plow on a couple of these lots just with the timing and everything. Brine looks like it's working pretty well on a lot of this stuff. So we're seeing some pretty good melting on the stuff that was sprayed just recently. There's some other stuff that we sprayed drive lanes right away that are at least holding up and keeping it slushy but still safe. So it's not very icy. I think all in all, for the timing and everything, we made it through pretty quick with the guys and equipment that we have out here. Game plan for the rest of the morning here is just going to be touching everything up, making sure that it's as clean as we can get it, and then getting the guys home and getting some rest, and then they'll come back tonight. Temperatures are going to be down single digits, so they'll want to get probably a little bit higher blend of brine and additive, probably do about a 10% here tonight, and do a final scrape and final spray, and that should be it.
While crews wrap up what they can, a new request comes in. Something a little different.
So now we're going to go make snow, I guess. It's one way of making it.
Making snow to help out with the ice maze, and that's about it. Some of the walls are starting to crumble down a little bit.
What I really want to do is that like sun and all the heat really ate away at those walls. So like even if we can get like a slush base on those, I think it'll help.
At Curbside, keeping things safe means more than just clearing lots. When something on site needs attention, the crew steps up. Unusually warm temps have turned the Viking Lakes ice maze into a battle against melting walls. So the team jumps in, running water lines and firing up the snow machine. Because when the snow won't fall, sometimes you just have to make your own. As part of the crew lends a hand at the maze, the rest wrap up what they can. Sidewalks get one last pass, drive lanes are cleared between the cars, and Viking Lakes stays moving. Coming up after the break, one final push, one final night. Brine goes down, and no snow gets left behind. Coming up right after this. After catching a few hours of rest, operators are back for one last push. With the snow cleared and sidewalks finished, there's just a few final tasks to wrap up. The skid loader will hit any missed spots, and brine will seal it in, protecting the site from the deep freeze ahead.
Skid guy's job is to get the piles to the middle, get them where the loader can run through and not have to fight for them around light poles and stuff. Takes a lot of discipline when you're in the skid to be able to do that, though. It's really tempting to want to just start running piles.
It can be kind of a pain when it decides to snow into the morning hours. Like, I think this morning it was still snowing at 10 o'clock. Having to come back and go through everything where people were parked and just touch it up a little bit, make sure it's perfect and don't get any service calls or no slip and falls or injuries. It's kind of nice. It is peaceful this late at night. Not having to deal with cars or traffic. Not having to worry about stop signs. There was one time though, it was about like 2 in the morning. There's a stop sign and I didn't even think about it because, it's 2 in the morning, I'm just trying to get through it. And there was a cop sitting down at the end of the cul-de-sac, being a little stinky guy. And I just completely blew the stop sign, no brakes or nothing, didn't even tap the brakes. And he turned his lights on at me. Like, just to give me a warning that he's there. I'm like, oh, well, how nice. Like, woofs.
It's going. It's about as good as you'd expect. So I'm not biting a whole lot extra snow or ice here. I'm just trying to re-scrape the spot that I just did with a different angle. The different grade of the ground. Sometimes you can get in better. These parking stalls are tough. You can see the little ruts where the vehicles' tires have sat for days on end.
As the final cleanup wraps up and the last details get dialed in, there's a moment to step back. It wasn't the biggest storm, but it brought its own set of challenges. And through it all, the crew kept moving.
Pretty uneventful with the lack of snow that we got. Crews started rolling in about 3:30 to head out to sites. We started here doing sidewalks and plowing. We had another short little band come through right around 4:30, 5 o'clock. So cars were starting to roll in. We started spraying brine on the drive lanes at that point, while the other crews were still moving snow. I think the crews wrapped up about 1:30 when they got out of here. Went home, got some sleep, got to eat, and then they get to sleep tonight because the walks are all clean and no issues there. So this morning we went through about 4,000 gallons on the property out here, which is just under 5 ton, basically, to treat the entire site, sidewalks and parking lots. And we'll probably go through maybe 1,500, 1,700 gallons down the final just cleanup spray. Everything looks pretty good from what we sprayed earlier. That's about it. These guys will probably be out here for maybe another hour, and it'll be wrapped up.
Another event in the books. The team showed up, stayed sharp, and got it done. From the first flake to the final spray, Curbside proved once again why they're trusted to keep Viking Lakes running smooth. The snow might have been light, but the effort was anything but. And with another system already showing up in the forecast, this crew knows rest doesn't last long. Coming up on Storm Chasin, we head to Manchester, where Outdoor Pride runs one of the most complex snow operations in the Northeast.
Manchester area. So the 30 properties that touch the Manchester Regional Airport.
Zero room for mistakes.
You never know if your first storm's going to be the last storm, so you always want to make sure you're on top of stuff.
From pre-treatment to plow to cleanup, every detail matters.
Come 6 a.m., we should have pavement in all the places that are open.
Meet the veterans who've been in this game since '89.
If I'm being truthful, like that's all it is like, okay, well this is broken. Okay, what are we gonna do about it?
And the new blood keeping up with the pace.
Whatever. I guarantee it, tomorrow morning you're gonna see ice. Everywhere else is gonna be ice and we're gonna be clean. We're gonna be good.
It's about pride. And the people who refuse to let standards slip, no matter the storm.
You're driving around, you see something, you fix it, so that's not a problem later.
This is Outdoor Pride, and the storm's just getting started.
So, skid steer, almost went over a cliff.